Hey, enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 628.
The sexiest podcast on the network. We should be extra sexy now because we took so much time off.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, we back.
We back.
Yeah. Yeah, last week was just a mess of scheduling in my head, and I don't even remember what else, but there was just things afoot. Oh,
Yeah,
holiday.
Labor Day happened. We did. Last week was a shit show.
Yeah. So we decided to just take the week off because otherwise we would have been recording, what, Friday, basically?
No, because
No.
my kids
Yeah.
come over Friday for dinner, so it would have had to been pushed back to Saturday.
Oh, no, it wasn't happening Saturday.
Yeah, because Saturday we'll get to. Whoops, I
Yeah.
dropped my beer right in front of camera. Nothing like blocking the shot.
Yeah, we were for sure busy.
Yeah, so we just decided the best course of action was fuck it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you boys need a vacation.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
I know, Brian. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
But we're pretty goddamn close.
I mean, when you're right, you're right. Can't argue.
So, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it was kind of the rarest thing about last week was, I mean, we pulled something we haven't done in a long time, which is a
Got
double
hammered?
hang. Well, that too, but we pulled a double hang. We hung out twice in the same week.
I was about ready to bring that up. I was like, despite the fact we didn't record, we hung out IRL, as the kids say.
Yeah.
Twice. In a week.
Yeah.
That shit doesn't happen anymore. We're old men. We don't do that.
Really doesn't. Yeah. I don't know the last time we did. It's been a minute.
I know, right?
So I mean, unless you count like when we went to West Virginia, but I don't quite count that because we're on a trip at that point.
Yeah, that was a pleasure cruise.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, on Labor Day, I went over to your house because we were gonna have us some delicious pork sandwiches, and
that failed.
A little bit.
Yeah, how disappointed I was with that whole situation.
I mean, I think everyone involved was disappointed.
And I legit think I fucked up later too.
Yeah.
Because, let's spell it out and I'll get to me fucking up. How about that?
All right.
Yeah, I had you over, had my boy Mike over.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to have, I'm still going to try this, Brian. I'm still going to try it.
All right.
But I was going to make Italian, like roast beef, Chicago style sandwiches that you dunk in the jus.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to make it with pork. I was going to do pulled pork, Italian roast beef sandwiches or whatever.
Yeah.
Roast Italian, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And man, I put that fucking meat on. I slapped that meat down at about 8 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? 6 or 7 that night, and it was still not.
Yeah.
It was like it stalled out. It was a whole situation.
Yeah.
So I told you guys, fuck it, and we ordered pizza. We still had fun.
Sure.
We ate some food, bullshit, had some beers.
Yep.
Yeah,
it was still a time.
Yeah, I still had a good time. Here's where I fucked up.
Put it in the microwave to finish?
Yes.
Which would be a problem, 2 problems for you. One, that your microwave is broken.
Yes. It depends on how many beers I have. I'm just staring at it.
Yeah. Why isn't it cooking?
I swear it's on. I punched in the numbers. I just changed the clock.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
But so well after you guys left, I'm like, all right, it's getting close to bedtime.
Yeah.
I'm like, I went out there and checked, and it was at the temperature I needed at. And I'm like, thank you, sweet baby Jesus.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Pull the meat off the smoker, bring it in the house, and I, start tearing it up. The bone that was in it just came out perfectly clean. I'm like, this is what your boy's talking about.
Yeah.
And I ate some, and it tasted amazing. I'm like, yes, I wish this would have been done like 3 hours ago.
Yeah, right.
So where I fucked up is and I should know better because I did work in a restaurant briefly. is I just threw that shit in Tupperware, piping hot, threw it in the fridge.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I had to go to bed. What am I gonna do? Wait around
Yep.
for 2 hours for the shit to cool? I don't
Yes.
have a big hotel pan to spread it out on and cool the shit down real quick.
Right. Bathtub.
Bathtub, maybe.
Yeah.
So
just put some foil down and
even Michelle was like, "Aren't you supposed to let that cool?" And I'm like, "It'll be fine." I said that about everything though. Like, I don't care what's going on. The neighbor's house could be on fire. I'm like, it's fine. You know?
Yeah. It'll cool down in a minute.
Yeah, so I was like, whatever. I mean, I was honestly like, I just gotta go to bed.
Right.
And I threw some of my lunch the next day. Let me tell you, Brian, I didn't feel so hot.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, God, I kind of, but at the same time, like, well, who knows? Who knows what that is?
Right.
But then the next day, I was going to take some more in my lunch, and I crack open the lid, and I just got hit with a funk that I did not like.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I know from what I hear, if you put hot food in the fridge, it becomes like a nesting ground for bacteria or whatever because of the
perfect.
so it holds it at some weird temperature that bacteria like to fuck at, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
So yeah, I learned my lesson. I ended up like throwing most of it away, which really makes me sad.
And yeah, but I mean, obviously that's the better move than getting rocket diarrhea for a week.
Exactly. What am I gonna do? Like plow through it and just be like, fuck it.
Yeah.
You made this bed. You sleep in it.
There's a show on Adult Swim called was it Royal Crackers, I think it is. And there's this one lawyer guy that works for this family. He's on his way to deliver the old man's will or something like that. And he sees this place. I can't remember. It's basically like a fast food place, like a White Castle or something. And he pulls over and he's like, no, go deliver this first. Then you can treat yourself with whatever. He ends up getting this, and it shows him like showing up at his office, and he just jumps through the window to get into the office, and his receptionist is like, what the hell? And he's like Burger Boy's diarrhea or something, and just runs to the bathroom.
Burger Boy's diarrhea.
And that's just pretty much what I'm picturing is, you just have that, and that's basically you all day is jumping through glass. And
yeah, we don't need that.
No.
So yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? Live and learn.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was sad because I was really like excited for some of them.
Oh, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I just future reference, if I get a pork shoulder that big, next time I'm gonna cut it in half.
Right.
And then smoke it in two separate areas.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll cut. I don't know. I don't know, man. I couldn't explain why it just like some idiot grabbed a big greasy train brake and like sparks are flying and.
Well, I told you, I was like, all it was that smoker was like, "Fuck you, it's Labor Day. I'm not working either."
Accurate.
So.
I did have a good weekend leading up to Labor Day, though. One day was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Because we, what was it? I got off of work. Wait, it's been so long. I don't even know what's going. No, this is the Monday before.
Oh my God.
Because I got called off of work. Like we went in and there was no power.
No, that was Tuesday, wasn't it?
You're right.
Yeah, that was Tuesday because that's why we didn't record Tuesday.
That's right. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah.
Monday we hung and neither of us was like, we're in the same room. We could have thrown a podcast down.
I mean, we could have. Honestly, we could have. But whatever. Well, plus, in theory, I was working in the morning.
Right.
Yeah. If I would have known, if I knew we had no power to plan, shit would have got nutty that night probably. I was in the mood.
Yeah, I would have been down for it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So Tuesday I woke up. I must have had that pulled pork for lunch at home. I think I did. Whatever.
Yeah.
Tuesday I got home, or I went to work and there was like no power in most of the plant, so we can't operate.
Yeah.
And they're like, "See ya, go home."
Right.
So I come up for work, which
now, out of curiosity, did you loot beforehand? I mean, the power's out. That's the first thing. That's the responsible move is looting.
I mean, I thought about it, but then I was like, I can just go home. All right.
I guess, yeah.
And I
guess you could have stolen though.
Well, that's true. I think I was out there in just sipping coffee or something. Michelle comes out of the bedroom like, "Why are you home?" Thinking, what is everything okay?
like, oh shit, my secret lover's on his way over.
But so I'm like, yeah, I told her what's going on. She's like, oh, okay. I hindsight, I should have been like, I got fired.
Oh, man.
But
Right.
but yeah, so she was like, well, since you're home, it's gonna be so hot. Do you want to go to the beach? I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let's go to the beach. So pack up the car, hit Kroger's, get some beverages and some snacks.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
And we're at the beach, and which by the way, when it was dead, which is awesome because usually that beach is kind of busy. We're just sitting there chilling. This fucking guy shows up, man. And he just throws like a towel on the beach and takes his shirt off, and he's walking in the water. And I'm looking at him as he's walking. I'm like, maybe I'm just catching a weird reflection. But I'm like, I think that guy's wearing a belt. And he was out in the water like up to his neck for a while. Okay. And then he comes walking out. And of course, I'm like really paying attention now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you just had on cargo shorts and a leather belt. I don't even understand what was going on, man.
I mean, you got to keep your pants up, but it's a little weird to wear a leather belt in the water. Yeah, I've heard it's not great for leather.
No, I'm sure it's terrible.
Either one.
Yeah, I thought that shit was hilarious. They just I just yanked my fucking earphones off my head.
I saw that.
I need this thing needs a longer cord because I'm always karate chopping it because I talk with my hands.
You do. Yeah.
So when we go into water because Michelle took her painting stuff and I was reading. It was a good time. Yeah. We're in the water throwing a frisbee, having a time. And I'm just like standing in the lake and I'm looking out at Lake Erie and I'm looking at, like Kelly's Island and Put-in Bay. And I'm just like, we should go to Put-in Bay. So we packed up our shit and bought some ferry tickets and went over to Put-in Bay and rented a golf cart and had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
nice.
It was awesome. Michelle had never been there before. For those who don't know, Put-in Bay is the equivalent of like Lake Erie, Key West. Yeah, it becomes a shit show.
Yeah, it really can.
Yeah, but it was the day after Labor Day weekend.
Right.
So it was dead. A lot of places weren't even open. Like there's a brewery there now that I really wanted to get into. Like I was yanking on the door like an idiot.
Yeah.
And I don't think we went there on bachelor party weekend because I don't really remember much of bachelor party weekend.
I don't remember if that place was open.
I don't think it was either. So okay.
Yeah. I don't think so.
But yeah, I really wanted to go there, but
because I'm pretty sure we would have went.
100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we just, we had a one drink and got an appetizer cost us like $180.
Yeah, that's about right. Sure. You had a coupon apparently.
The golf cart rental was pretty cheap, honestly, because the place is dead.
Yeah, golf cart rentals are about the most affordable thing there.
Yeah.
Everything else is for sure tourist price.
And it's like in hindsight, because I was looking at their website, it's like, oh, if you want to, go to this golf cart place and take the Miller Ferry, we have a package deal, but you got to book it ahead of time. You can't book it same day.
Oh, okay.
So, and because we're talking about like, oh, maybe we should go in the fall, just go and just putz around and, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, it was cool. It was fun. Yeah. I liked it, Brian. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that place is a fun hang, but you for sure got to be prepared if you're gonna like go really do it up. You got to be prepared financially.
Yeah, it'll cost you. It'll cost you some money.
Yeah,
I mean, and there was, despite the fact it was the day after Labor Day, there was drunken shenanigans. Like I saw these dudes on a golf cart, and the guy just had a bra hanging around his neck, and you could just tell they were all just hammered.
Right.
Which honestly is not an ideal situation. Because there's way less people, and those cops out there, they don't fuck around.
Yeah, you're going to really stand out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and also, we've just, what was it, just a month or two ago, they had a bunch of shenanigans out there where they had to call in, like, a lot of cops. Yeah. Because they had, like, fights or some, like, rowdy crowd or something going on out there and all that. So, yeah, they, so they're probably on heightened awareness at the moment.
For sure, right?
Yeah. I'm with you. It's like if you're going to go, have drunken shenanigans, you should probably go when they're busier. That way you blend in a little better.
Yeah, exactly. Safety in numbers.
Yeah. Right.
It's like
they can't catch us all.
Yeah, it's like a pack of antelope, The lion's going to get one of you.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, yeah, but it was cool. I can't remember because it's been so long since recorded. I've ever talked about Taco Wars.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Well, wait, no, told us about it at your house.
Oh, okay. You'll say we also went to Taco Wars.
Yeah.
It's the 3rd annual one. That was a complete shit show.
Yeah, it looks like you picked the winning taco place though.
Oh, did I? The El Pollo
Los
Loco or whatever?
Yeah, they won.
Oh, good for them.
Because I saw it in the Toledo food truck group. I saw their trophy, I think.
I mean, it's probably because at the one time they had the shortest line.
That's a good reason. You think about it, right? Like if there were long lines at a lot of the trucks, whatever truck could move the most people through, if people were like, I'm not getting in another line, I'm just voting for the place I went to, just by math alone, you'd go, well, we got 100 people through, everybody else got 80 through, so we win by default.
Oh, there's no way those people are getting 100 people through, no matter who they were.
Just saying. Yeah, you know.
All right, so let me lay out Taco Wars for the non-Toledoans. It's something that now he doesn't even own a taco truck. I found out it's a funnel cake guy. Right. But he owns his own food truck and he organizes this thing, Taco Wars.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how they ran it, and it's the first time I've ever been.
Right.
But they shut down a couple blocks of downtown. They just had food trucks lining the street. And it was like no ticket to enter. You just walk up. That was your first mistake.
Yeah.
And I think
I'm surprised they don't charge something to get in, and that gets you like 2 tacos or something like that.
Or give you like food tickets or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even Festivale, remember, you could use the tickets that you got with the
beer or food.
Right. Yeah. You know, do something like that.
That would be way smarter because you could control it a little more.
Right. And you have an accurate count of how many people.
Also that. Because from what the news reported on, 30,000 people were there.
Yeah.
At some point. I mean, it was a long event.
Yeah.
It took us 45 minutes to get our tacos. Reportedly, I read on Reddit, the Toledo subreddit, some people waited 2 hours for tacos.
Jesus, there's no way, man.
There's no way. So Michelle was on her little scoot, so we had a hard time navigating because the lines are so long.
Yeah.
That there was no way we were having a taco war. We had our tacos and we left.
Right. That's kind of what I was getting at, was like, so whichever place put the most people through has the mathematical advantage. Yeah. You know, unless you go, hey, you get in this line, I'll go over here, and that way we can hit 2 places.
Dude, and nobody was prepared. Like, I popped into Wesley's bar to get drinks. They were slammed. They only had a couple bartenders. Sure. Yeah. There was no seating anywhere.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
That's a real problem when you've got food. Even if it is food you can literally stand there and eat, still people like to have a sit down, especially if you got a cold beer.
Yeah, you got napkins you're trying to deal with.
Well, and if you got a burrito taco or something, you got to do a little dip action.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's not well planned. Like you were saying, if you were to go, all right, next year Taco Wars, it's going to be like $20 to get in. You're going to get tickets. You can buy more tickets if you want.
Right.
And then it's going to be in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. Because, I guess there's like a big brawl broke out.
Yeah, they said they had a thing on the news, like one dude's had some equipment get damaged and everything. Yeah. On the cool side of that, people were throwing him like extra tips and shit to try to help him out.
Well, that's good because
but he also had insurance. He filed a police report, all that, and he seemed like a pretty cool guy that was basically like, I really don't care about prosecuting anybody. Hopefully they just straighten their shit out.
I did see on someone comment on the Toledo subreddit that their friend either set up, like, because a lot of people are down there selling stuff like shirts or tumblers.
Right. Sure.
And I don't know if their friend had a setup like that or had a store down there, but during the brawl, like a bunch of their shit got stolen.
Oh,
because chaos breaks out.
Yeah, of course. Like I was saying earlier, right?
Yeah.
So if something goes sideways, the first instinct is loot.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
I don't understand this, but that's apparently the first instinct.
So yeah, Taco Wars was a shit show.
Yeah.
And what I don't get too is they had non-taco trucks.
That's the part that I don't understand at all.
Like,
Unless, like, I could understand having like shave ice or funnel cakes, right? Like dessert.
Oh yeah.
Maybe if somebody's doing churros or something,
but when you're like taco truck, Polish sausage truck, fried chicken truck, taco truck, funnel cake, lobster roll truck.
The only way I would let the sausage person in is if somehow they had a sausage that was somehow tasted like a taco.
Yeah, like a taco sausage or something. Like
right, like they were like a chorizo or
yeah,
something like that.
Okay, that's
or,
acceptable.
right, like okay, that's we can live with this. That's at least in the ballpark.
Well, and the thing too was like
you made it up for a prize, but
every taco truck was like full menu.
That's the part I don't get.
So it's just
that's
like
crazy.
guys. Like here's what they need to do next year. Pay for entry.
Yeah.
Fenced off area or something.
Yeah.
And then every taco truck brings like their best like 3 tacos or something.
I was gonna say I do like chicken, beef, steak, probably or pork, something like that, like 3.
Yeah, exactly. They're top 3.
Yeah.
Yep. And then boom, that's your taco war.
Yeah.
Come to Salty Language Consulting. We will help you.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you because and we'll get to this in a little bit. Like the beer fest that we went to, you notice most of those breweries only brought like 3 beers.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't bringing a full taster menu of their everything. Just wet your beak a little bit because like with these taco trucks, if you go up and you get an amazing taco, you're going to be like, hey, I'm going to find you on Twitter or whatever, or Facebook or that food truck app for Toledo. And I'm going to maybe come try all your other food or whatever,
Right.
And that's kind of, I think that's more of what those are supposed to be for, is to really get you to where you can taste around and try things in places you haven't had a chance to try
yet. For
yet.
sure. But
with those clients, there's no way.
Yeah, so we waited 45 minutes and Logan came with us. The 3 of us were all like, we're done.
Yeah.
Like that's why I said, it's nutty. Let's just leave. And we ended, where we ended up, Brian? We went to the record store, which is cool because I like the record store. Right. And then we went to fucking Big Boy.
Got to get a bowl of cottage cheese.
Oh, God. I'll tell you what I did get. Well, of course, I got fries and tartar sauce because I'm a savage. It's Big Boy.
Right. Well, yeah.
So they got the most American dessert, as my son put it, we've ever seen. It's called the Fire and Ice Cheesecake. It's a frozen slice of cheesecake, then battered and deep fried with caramel and chocolate sauce.
Sorry,
yeah, it sounds pretty good.
No, I won't say it again, Siri, you bitch. Yeah, it was good. And it's like, it's battered and then like rolled in cornflakes or something.
Right.
I mean, it was chef's kiss.
You got to roll it in something like that, cornflakes or Captain Crunch or something like that. Yeah.
I told Michelle and Logan, I'm like, this is an amazing breading for fried stuff. They're like, what? Captain Crunch. They both looked at me like I grew a head out of my shoulder.
Well, you might have.
I probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the weekend.
It
after
was
all.
the weekend.
Yeah. Got to air that thing out once.
Yeah,
in a while.
exactly. Got to let the beast out.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yikes.
Hey, I've been babbling. Tag, you're in. Let's go. Let's do this.
Man, I haven't really done a whole lot.
Because you've been feeling like shit.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what's going on. Like my I've had tummy issues for years, and it's like, it feels like they're getting worse.
That sucks.
And it's like, I don't know. It's like, I feel like I'm getting more and more sensitive to like food stuff. So I might have to go bland diet for a while and see if things improve, or I may have to go talk to a doctor or something, see what's going on. I think a lot of it's just, I just eat too much shit, just not good stuff. And
so they're saying you switch to light beer.
Yeah, basically. But so that's been kind of making me not want to really go and do things,
that's fair.
Kind of, I mean, even again, like we'll get to it, but yeah, I mean, early on at the beer fest, I was I was like, man, my tummy's not feeling great. And I'm like, man, I don't want to have to be like, we just got here and be like, hey, I need to leave because I don't really want to be Johnny Porta Toilet.
What do you mean? They're so amazing. All 5 of them.
We'll get to that. Yeah, our weather's been, we're starting to hit that, like that end of summer, beginning of fall kind of weather. So it's warm some of the days and then cool, like in the 40s at night.
Yeah.
And that swing can really fuck with me pretty good. So yeah, I've been dealing with headaches again, and it's just been a fucking mess. It's not been fun, but whatever.
Power through it.
Yeah, well, it's not like this shit's new to me.
Yeah,
I've been dealing with these headaches and all that for fucking ever. So
yeah, that's fair, man. That's fair.
I mean, I'm tired of it, but I'm used to it. So whatever. So yeah, that's yeah. I mean, I've watched a lot of shit this week, but you know, but I figure we can get into that in after.
Okay, after the shakedown.
Yeah, so I don't know if you have anything else. So anyway, so yeah, so you went to Put in Bay Tuesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday, I think it was my head was killing me or my stomach. I don't remember. I wasn't feeling good Wednesday, and I was like, how about Thursday? And what was it? There was something going on Thursday. No, Wednesday. I think you said.
Oh, I felt like shit Wednesday.
Yeah, it was you on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thursday was my day to feel like shit.
Yeah, like I don't know what was going
Right,
on, but I did. I felt like hot trash on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like after work, I just felt dead.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, you felt like shit.
Yeah, because that's when I was like, "Can we do tomorrow?" And you were like, my kids are coming over."
Yeah.
And it's like, well, then Beer Fest is Saturday, and then you were like,
let's just
maybe we
call
just
it.
take a week off. Yeah, like you know what? I think you're right because otherwise it's recorded Sunday, and then basically
double
we
down
don't have
on
a show
Monday
this week.
Yeah,
or just do a long episode and here's 2 weeks worth in one time kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, and then last night, yesterday I woke up and my stomach was bothering me and I was hot. And I was like, "Oh man, don't fucking tell me I got like a flu or something," And all it was, I think my room was just really stuffy cuz I kicked the air on, like, dropped it like 1 degree just so it would cycle once basically.
Right.
And after that I felt okay as far as that went, and then my stomach straightened itself out over time. So I was like, "Okay." I was like, thank goodness. I was like, man, I'm like, I really don't want to catch like a flu or some bullshit or COVID again or something like that.
I'm so sick of this shit.
Yeah, it's like that's no thanks.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, can we do tomorrow? And here we are.
Here we are.
So.
It's tomorrow, aka today.
Yeah. Criminy. What a week and a half, basically.
I know, right? And that.
So yeah, but yeah, Saturday we had the first Toledo Beer Fest, right? Yeah.
It's like I think they formed the Toledo Brewers Alliance. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
And it's the first beer fest that they're throwing.
Right.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Because they got like the Beer and Bacon Fest. They do a beer fest at the Mud Hens. They do have them around here, but that's the first like official like Brewers one.
Yeah.
Right. And it was cool as hell.
It was for sure a time.
Yeah.
It was really cool because it was a gorgeous day.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the temp was, but it felt mid-70s maybe.
Yeah, it was nice and cool.
Sun was behind the clouds most of the day.
Peeked out.
Looked like it was going to rain, but never did.
Never did.
Beautiful, nice breeze. It was ran into a guy I went to college. Oh, a couple guys I went to college with actually that run it's Sweet Nate's coffee trailer or truck, or I don't know what they refer to it as, but got to shoot the shit with them for a little while, and ran into some of our other friends, and we ran into dudes you worked with, and then just had some random ass good conversations with random people.
Yeah, my favorite, the Beer Fest stranger conversations.
Yes,
it's always my favorite.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's like we're standing in line, and we see they have these little glass things for us to sample, which both of us were puzzled by the whole glass concept. It's like, why aren't these should be plastic for sure.
I meant to bring it down so I could showcase it, but I forgot.
Well, if you look at Tony's
Instagram,
there's a picture of it. It's just like a 3-ounce little glass, like those pint glasses that look like a can almost, but it's a small version of those.
I mean, I'm assuming Libby Glass local
Definitely
was a sponsor.
Yeah,
because they were Libby Glass because their logo's on the back, and I think Libby had a booth set up.
Oh, okay. I didn't pay attention.
Like, here's our beer glasses, and everyone just walked by them. It's like, oh, you're not serving? Get out of here,
Well, also, who wants to carry around a bunch of glass while you're, it's like,
no shit.
A beer fest.
Yeah, like I'm gonna fall and kill everyone.
Side note to the sturdiness of the glass, I went to wash it out the next day, and in doing so, I dropped it in the sink and it spanged around like 4 times, didn't crack or anything. So
shout out Libby Glass.
Yeah, I would have been so disappointed if I got that thing home and was stone sober and broke it.
Yeah, it would have been a bummer.
carrying it around all day with it being all, slippery and sticky from beer, and not a problem that all day, but no more get it home and whoops
As
daisy.
soon as you've got zero alcohol in your system, it gets
Yeah,
annihilated.
just throw it into the sink. Um,
Yeah, interesting choice on glass.
yeah, but good. The good to it was it was spaced out nice.
Mm-hmm.
It, like I said, the gorgeous day, which they don't control, but it was a really well done in that. It's like, and the nitpick stuff is really nitpick stuff. There really wasn't anything that was really like, I don't know about like bad.
There was nothing offensive about it.
No, I mean the glass thing. It was like, this probably should be plastic for various reasons. They needed a couple more porta potties. I'm a little surprised they only had one food truck and then my buddy's truck, which they do have. So technically, there's two. They have bagel sandwiches.
Yeah, fair enough.
There is two food trucks there, but that still was a little surprising that there weren't a couple more. But they also probably didn't know how many people were going to show up. You don't want to get like 10 food trucks and have no one show up.
Right.
So
like I would think I think my gripes with it were, well, the glass, because that is weird.
Yeah.
As you and I were talking about at the fest, the brewery list should have also included the beers they had.
Yes, 100%. They should have had something that would not have to pull it up on my phone, because I'm constantly getting a beer.
Yeah.
Like give me some, like a piece of paper, like the other brew fest we go to all have a list.
Yeah, and then you can like check mark if you had it, or I like it because you can look and be like, oh, that sounds amazing. Let me go get that.
Let's go get that. Yeah.
So that would have been nice.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like in the empty parking lot area they had, more seats would have been cool.
Yeah, some seating. You're
or
right.
At least some like high top, something you can sit your glass down at or whatever.
Yeah. Well, especially because again, they did have food.
Yeah.
And there was nowhere really to sit and eat.
Like there was a couple tables over by the food trucks.
Yeah.
But they should have had more.
There were only like 4 over there. So
yeah.
They were small too. Yeah. So it's, yeah. But again, nothing that I'm like, nothing was egregious.
Oh yeah.
I mean, one thing that kind of stunk a little bit was, we've had a decent amount of the beers that were there previously, but I understand it, because they weren't, the breweries weren't really being experimental for this.
Yeah.
Because like I told you when I first looked at the list, my biggest surprise was that every place there didn't have an Oktoberfest. Right. And almost all the beers were very much like summer beers.
Oh yeah.
They were not beginning of fall type stuff, or like you said, there was not a lot of stouts and porters and all that kind of stuff.
It wasn't the stuff that we typically associate with a end of summer beer fest.
Right. But I will say this, given the temperature and everything, I'm actually kind of glad. Because I'm glad we didn't have a bunch of stouts and porters on a beautiful day like that. I'm glad there was shandies and IPAs and all that kind of stuff too. They were kind of nice, and plus, like I told you a couple times, when I grabbed a shandy, that was a nice palate cleanser for some of the other beers that I had, like some of those IPAs.
Yeah.
A couple of those double IPAs I had, like, remember that one place? I was like, I can't remember which one it was, but I was like, it was a double, and I'm like, this drink's like a single. This is dangerous.
Yeah. Because that like, was the same place I got that sour that was like delicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool. I mean, my favorite beer was the black IPA that we had from Ramblin' Reds.
Red Rambler.
Wherever, something like that.
Or Ramblin' Reds or something like that.
Yeah, that was my favorite regular beer. Honestly, the one that was my biggest kind of not in my wheelhouse beer that I really liked was that one. It was a strawberry sour shandy, I think it was, and it was like a strawberry lemonade or something like that. That was so good. Remember, I kept telling you, it was like a strawberry puree almost.
Oh,
it was so good.
Yeah, that's where because that was the Forked Creek or whatever.
Yeah.
And actually, I was telling my my old boss now at work about that, and she told me that her and her wife have been out to the brewery, and she's like, it's great, you got to go. Like they got like there's amazing food, so.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have to road trip out there, because they had that peach Hefeweizen.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
it
Yep.
was like I felt like Nick Cage of Face Off. I could eat a peach all day.
Yeah.
And then the dude mixed those two beers, the strawberry and
Yeah.
the peach for me. Oh,
Yeah.
Brian.
That's
Oh, it's so good.
that strawberry on its own was
Oh,
delightful.
no.
And like I said, I'm okay with shandies. Listen, if on a hot day a shandy hits the spot
Oh, yeah.
sometimes, it's nice and clean and refreshing, but that really was hit the spot when I had that one. It was almost like having a similar, like kind of like, hey, I need like a Gatorade or a fruit punch here to, kind of recharge my body a little bit from drinking IPAs and shit. So,
Dude, you know what
but that
you know
was,
what I did in the summer? I think I was on vacation or maybe had a long weekend.
mm,
Is I bought some like wheat beer.
yeah.
And then I was just saying I bought a nice jug of like organic lemonade.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was just making my own shandies.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of wheat beer, I think the surprise beer of the thing was that
Oh,
that
that
pretzel
pretzelberry.
that pretzelberry, yeah, pretzel raspberry that was dry, which was funny because it was almost because I think it was called "These pretzels are making me thirsty"
Yeah.
or something to that effect, wasn't it?
I
Or
think I
was
was
that
like the
different?
tagline because it was
Yeah,
definitely the title was pretzelberry.
pretzelberry.
Yeah.
Okay, because yeah, it was really different and good, but definitely not a drink a pint of
Yeah, it
it.
was
But it
like
was
salty and fruity and dry,
yeah,
not really
but not like
sweet,
overly fruity. Yeah,
like
exactly.
just
It was
like a waft of fruit.
yeah. So yeah, it was a good time. I was definitely surprised by some of the things that I tried that I was like, this isn't really my wheelhouse, but also let's give it a go. Like that one was a sour, and I'm not big on sours,
Yeah.
but that was a strawberry sour, and man, that maybe is my favorite sour I've had. But I don't know if I could drink a pint. Might be too sweet to drink a pint.
Oh, fair enough.
Not sure,
So
but
like that was a perfect sour for me because it was just sweet enough and it was just tart
yeah,
enough. Because I've
right.
had some sours that it's like eating a warhead. It's just like
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
but that was like it was just like pleasantly tart. It was nice.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I realized, and obviously we didn't have to. It didn't affect us at all. But the punch card they give you had 12 stamps on it.
Yeah.
I don't recall if you could get more punches. Oh, you got it. Nice.
They said on the website that there would be limited like if like you could get more, and but I was like, like we're the ones in Michigan you go by
Yeah,
tokens.
yeah, yeah.
And this one they had it's a punch card, but everybody was just basically using a Sharpie on it.
Well, and
Uh
I mean, like, my coworker, someone gave him and his wife cards, and they were leaving,
yeah.
so they gave us those.
Yeah, and then that one brewery, the one guy at the one brewery gave me another one. That's why
Yeah,
I mean I've still got all of them. I got 3 of them sitting here.
and then towards the end of the night,
Still
none of
fun.
the breweries want to load up kegs that are full
Yeah.
of liquid, so they're just trying to give the shit away.
Yeah.
Like the one guy just held the card in the air and then like pretend marked it. He's like, "This is just in case they're watching me," you know.
Yeah. Well, and then there was the one guy who saw that on my one card that somebody had just taken like and slashed across, so he just drew across their slash
Oh yeah.
to basically save me a beer. And
I mean,
really quick on the back of it, it says Toledo Metropolitan Craft Brewers Alliance. That's
there
the
you go.
organization. Yeah.
I mean, I guess just on a side note or whatever, most it's just a lesson that most people who are brewers are cool as fuck.
Yeah, well, that's usually the best part, and unfortunately, at some of these, sometimes like when we walked up, there were ones I didn't say a whole lot to because I saw volunteer on their
Right.
tag, and it was like, okay, they probably aren't like with the brewery. I mean, we almost had a photo op set up with a guy from inside the five, to.
Yeah.
I was trying to. It was funny because like this leads to a couple stories. Like Tony goes over to use the porta potty. While he's in there, like before he went, actually, I looked up and there's this really tall building, and on my Instagram I have a picture
Oh
of it
yes, yes.
of this guy like squatting on the edge of this like tall building, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, I hope this is not a guy who's gonna jump or something. Probably just standing up there seeing what's going on over at the thing. But he was up there for quite a while, and then finally he got up and went away. um but I was gonna go up to inside the five and get a beer while I was waiting for you, And I saw the dude working there just got himself lined up with 3 tacos. And I'm like, well, I'm going to give my man a minute to maybe cram a taco or 3 in his face, being a nice guy and all. And of course, everybody else is savages and they don't give a shit about him trying to enjoy some tacos.
Goddamn animals.
These people, I don't think he knew them, but they were like, hey, will you take our picture? And it's just like, I'm standing there by myself. It's like, you would have thought they would have just came over to me and asked maybe instead, but I would have just stolen their camera. So
right.
Probably for the best. But actually the way they first were going to take it, they were right by the booth and I was going to kind of sneak behind them and just get in the picture. And but then they decided that they wanted to move back to where they could get like the backdrop of the river and stuff in there. And I was like, oh, that ruined everything.
Bastards.
So yeah, but this poor guy. And that's when you and I walked up and I was like, I was trying to give you a minute to eat your tacos. And he did get I think he had 2 and he got through one of them before we got up there. And then, then we were like, fuck it. We've given you enough time.
Yeah. Sorry, Skippy.
Yep.
We need a beer.
Yeah. So, but he was cool.
No, he was cool.
Got to talk to him about Oktoberfest a little bit because I didn't know that there was a difference between a German Oktoberfest and an American Oktoberfest, but I'm not surprised by that. I just didn't know that there was a difference. So that was fun. And, talking with the one dude about the black IPAs when he was like, oh yeah, they used to be common. And we're like, God damn it. We missed our time.
I mean, that is one of my favorite styles, honestly.
They for sure are the only ones that I saw there that had a black IPA because Heavy didn't.
I mean, if you remember, Brian, we were walking by and I was like, yeah, I've been here before. I wasn't real impressed. And then I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, we both see Ace of Spades and we're like, what's that? Like, oh, and we both almost at the same time. We're like,
oh shit, black IPA.
So, yeah. So good,
was.
though. So dark.
Oh, yeah.
So dark, can't see through the beer. I mean, you can. It's clear, but it's dark, and they're so robust.
It was a good time. It was a fun beer fest,
Yeah.
And plus, it's been so long. I've been craving that.
Oh, no. That's what I was saying to you. Remember, as I was like, after we had walking around and talking with people, and I'm like, God, I forgot how much I enjoyed the camaraderie at the beer fest.
It's
like we're
just
all
a
enjoying
good
this
time.
shit. Yeah. And there was no weird vibes. Nobody seemed like any sort of real troublemaking was going on. It's just everybody,
Everyone's there to have some beers and have fun.
Yeah, it was very chill. It was the perfect environment for me for a beer fest. So I'm can't wait to do it again next year.
For sure.
And
I'm going to reach out to Shannon. She's got something to do with Heavy Brewing. I think she's got something to do with that alliance because she organized it. Yeah. And I was telling you, I low key know her, but we talked at the beer fest, and I want to get her on as a guest here. Why not? Yeah.
Sure.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. Me too. I agree. That was for sure a good time. I'm glad things lined up so that we were able to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I had other things afoot in that day, and thank God, thank God I got a cool girl, basically.
And so it was, but man, and we stumbled over to Frickers and had I had another pint. You had half a pint.
I don't remember what beer I ordered.
You got a Rheingeist.
Okay, so I got a Truth.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I just remember it being
I thought it was Truth, but I couldn't quite remember. And
meanwhile, I went Miller Lite because I'm like, I want something really watery.
Yeah, you made the right move because I got about halfway through that pint, and I was just like, I can't. Like, if I chug this down, I'm gonna probably yak. Like,
I think the only reason I really got through mine was the chicken bites that I got had enough heat that I needed to kind of keep putting the heat out a little bit. Also, remember I nearly died choking at one point.
That's right.
So, I think between those two things, that's why I was able to finish it. Otherwise, I really didn't want it. I really shouldn't have ordered it.
But, Brian, the crown jewel was the butter and roll.
Yeah. Butter and roll. Tony's like, I think I'm gonna get. I don't even remember what you got. I
got chunks
bites
and fries.
Yeah, and you're like, and a roll with butter.
Well, it's on the menu for like 70 cents. Of course, I'm gonna order that.
So I think you might have made the bartender's night with that too. She seemed to get a real good kick out of that. Good shit. Yeah, I got home. I mean, real
Thank God
quick,
for
you know,
Uber,
but
by the way.
both the Uber drivers we had were pretty awesome. So I appreciated that as well. We didn't get like weird like creep vibes off of them.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Actually, our guy on the way home after you got dropped off, like we're riding in silence for a second there, and I was just like, because I was trying to think like, what the fuck can I talk to this guy about? You know, like you're so in your head because you're hammered.
Yeah, right.
And I was just like, oh, I used to kind of do this. So I was just like, hey, man, I used to drive for, this company. And he was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I know that guy. He's a real asshole. And then we started just talking shit on the guy who owned it. So I'm like, oh, it's perfect.
Awesome. All right. I like that guy. He was fun. The first one was hilarious. Like on our way there, we got into a conversation with the guy about how he was switching majors from accounting to logistics. And we were talking about, the challenges and ups and downs of logistics and everything. It was for sure, not what any of us expected.
Plus, he was British, which was weird too. I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, very, very strange. But so I get home, and I start pounding some water because, got a post.
That would have been a smart move. I just went to bed.
Oh, dude. And well, I was feeling pretty good when I came in, because remember I told you I was like, I'm not even really feeling anything. By the time we got to Frickers, I'm like, I'm feeling it now. Like it's and then I drink that one more pint and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty good. By the time I got home, I was feeling pretty good. And so I just started pounding some waters and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go watch the end of that Texas Alabama game that was on at the bar. And I caught the end of that. And then they were like, coming up next is Auburn and Cal. And I'm like, cool, I'll just keep it going, Dude, I barely remember kickoff and I nodded out.
Nice.
So, and I don't think it wasn't a pass out or a blackout thing. It was just that I only slept like 4 hours the night before. Right. So I was just fucking tired. Woke up a few hours later, felt pretty fresh as a daisy, had a little bit of a headache, but not much. And that was it. I was good.
I think I woke up around 5 because I had to piss hard.
Yeah, that was what woke me up. Finally.
And I got up, I vented, and then I was just like, my mouth was so dry. I'm like, oh, I gotta go get some water. And I went out and I like filled up a cup, drank the water, and then I noticed like my head had a little bit of a headache going on, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting ahead of this. So I grabbed, some aspirin, some ibuprofen, choked it down there, a cup of water, and then I was just like, man, I think I'm going to eat some Tums, too. And I ate some Tums. And then I went back to bed. I slept for like 4 more hours and woke up feeling amazing.
Yep. Yeah, and post-gaming, man, it's important. Once you hit 40, post-gaming is as important as anything when it comes to drinking.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If you do it in any quantity. If you're having a couple pints, you're fine. But if you're going, got how many ever samples we had that
more than 12,
because I lost count at 15.
Yeah, more than 12, and I didn't check them all in. I know that. I kind of gave up. I was like,
you could probably easily go back and do it because there weren't a lot of beers. You probably could pull that list up and check.
Oh yeah, because I sent it to you and I sent it to my buddy at work too. So
right. So I mean, I thought about doing that mainly just so I have it in Untapped that I like. Hey, I've had.
That's a good idea. Actually, that's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah. But yeah, that was I did the same thing. I hit the Tums and hit a couple aspirin and for sure I was like anytime I woke up, like if I was rolling over in bed, I'd reach over and grab my water bottle and just a couple quick drinks of that so that I stay ahead of it.
Yes.
Woke up, wasn't real dry or anything, so I was like, okay, mission accomplished.
Right. Excellent work, Brian.
could have went and got after it again on Sunday. No, I couldn't have. That would be a terrible idea. I'm about to hit mid-40.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah. That's this coming weekend. I hit.
It is
45 Saturday.
It is. Shit. We should do something. Unless you got plans already.
Yeah. I do on Saturday.
Okay, well, fuck me then.
I mean, there's other days.
Oh, I know. But, well, Friday I'm probably taking my lady out because her birthday's tomorrow. Wait.
Blow it up.
No, today's not Wednesday. Her birthday's Thursday.
No.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I thought her birthday was 2 days before
it
mine.
is.
Okay.
Like for another thing is I got my gig at work I talked about last time putting in for. Woo! So I
Yep.
started that yesterday.
Topless bartender at
Hell
work now.
yeah!
Yep.
And my week's all fucked up now because I'm just like, I'm learning shit. Although I think it's gonna work out. Although it's so much more computer work than I'm used to.
Well, makes sense.
But yeah, I'm gonna have an office, which will be weird.
Yeah. What's gonna be weird is watching you in there hunting and pecking all over the keyboard.
Dude, I got this. The keyboard I was using today sucked, and the guy who's training me, he's like, "Oh, I actually have an extra keyboard," and he pulled out this one and plugged it in. It's like all RGB, and it's just it's mechanical. It's like I'm like, and it's so satisfying. And I was like, "Oh, this is exactly what I needed."
Like, leave me. I need alone
Oh
time.
man, dude, it's so satisfying.
Good. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's going pretty good. So
I thought maybe he was gonna pull out. You remember those keyboards they had out for a hot minute where they were like half the key,
they're all like
almost
weird
like
and bendy and
separated
shit.
it. Yeah, and the thing was all wavy. It was God.
Yeah.
I remember when those came out. I think I worked at Best Buy when those came out, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? Oh, they're ergonomical." I'm like, they look like a nightmare.
Hard pass on that, man.
Clearly, they were great, and because obviously they still are around.
Obviously,
And used. Yeah.
So yeah, my week's all. Although I'll tell you what, Brian, it's Tuesday. Yeah, the past 2 days.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I still wake up stupid early because I've been waking up at the same time.
Yeah. Well, of course, right? Like, I'm curious how long that's gonna if you'll ever phase out.
I don't think I ever will. But I'm not mad at it because I get up now and like today I was like, you know what? And I threw the kettlebell around. I haven't exercised in like years. Like legitimately.
Yeah. That's what I was going to jokingly say you could get up, have your coffee, do some meditation and yoga.
Yeah, I got up, I put on a YouTube video, I threw the kettlebell around. I've made breakfast the past 2 days. I usually don't eat breakfast, which apparently, when you're dealing with the gut shit that I've been dealing with, breakfast is good for you because it gets everything going.
I guess. Yeah, right.
And then also, it's like, dude,
breakfast is the most essential of the meals.
Well, especially the way I do it. But then it's like at the end of the day, I'm driving home. Like yesterday, I'm driving home and I'm like, fuck, I feel great. Like, because I'm not running around getting the shit kicked out of me for 10 hours. Like,
well, and also you're kind of running at a different pace.
Yeah, before it was like, go, 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 go. Now it's like, okay, well, we got to go check this out. Oh, it's this time. We got to go back there. We got to run these reports. It's a totally different animal.
I was meaning even before you get to work.
Oh, yeah.
Because you get up and kind of go at a little leisurely pace a little bit before you
it's chill,
go
man.
in. That's what I remember my 10th grade English teacher used to get up ass crack of dawn, basically. Well, earlier than that because he was a teacher. He already had to be there early. Right. But he would get up and, make some tea, go sit in his office or whatever. And he'd just fucking either meditate or he'd play guitar for like an hour, and then he'd go to work, And it was like, and he was like, he's like, on days when I don't have time to do that, he's like, I feel like garbage all day. He's like, I start my day off, have a little tea, just relax, get in a vibe, basically, and then part of me wondered if maybe there was a little more than tea going on.
He definitely had some sort of herbal remedies
as well. Yeah. No, I doubt it. That's the vibe he gave, though. He was such a chill dude. He was a great teacher. But
no, it's like I said, man, it's like so far so good. You know what I'm saying?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like I was thinking today. I'm like, man, I got to find a new water bottle because basically what I use is a growler I found at Costco.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, well, this is overkill. I need something I can just shove in my pocket when I'm walking around now. As opposed to having a half a gallon of water nearby.
Yeah. Well, they for sure make water bottles like the size of that, kind of like your Coors there.
Yeah, that
are like the metal, like the one I've got here. Well,
I could just wash this out.
I mean, you really could.
It's aluminum. It's got a cap.
Look a little weird walking around with a Coors.
Walking off a banquet. Hey guys, keep it up. Looks good.
Yeah. Know what you need? You need to find a koozie that just says like water on it and put it over.
For sure, water.
Yeah. Don't ask questions. For sure, water.
Definitely not beer.
Yep. Oh, well, it clearly says for sure water on it.
The other side says definitely not beer, so I guess we're good.
That answers all the questions I had.
Can I make one more comment about my work? Because I see we're already closing in at the hour mark.
Yeah.
So today was Employee Appreciation Day. You know, they normally bring in a food truck. They have a raffle, which of course I didn't win. I never win anything. I would have liked to this time, so they're giving away a...
Well, you want a sandwich at the food truck.
well, you know, like the big prize this year was a Blackstone flat top. I would have loved that.
Oh, okay. Oh, that would have been awesome.
I've been, no joke.
You've been wanting one of those,
dude.
For a
no
while.
joke. Sunday, I brought my little TV out on the deck, and I was watching football, and I spent probably like an hour and a half just looking at different prices online of like different brands and reviews. Anyway, regardless,
right?
So they had some barbecue food. I don't even know the name of the place. Dude, I've never had sadder barbecue in my life.
Oh man!
Like I walk up and they got all their menu like on their board right by the window, which of course it's not. They're just like, hey, chicken or pork? I'm like, well, pork. Okay.
Yeah.
There's like 30 seconds. They pass out a styrofoam container. I'm like, oh, cool.
Okay.
They had two sauces. They had spicy and sweet. So I pop open a styrofoam container, and it's like your standard issue Kroger hamburger bun, so a small ass bun with pulled pork on it, and then just like a handful of potato chips, and that was it.
Oh,
I'm like, what the fuck? You know, it's like every time we got a food truck before, you usually get a lot of food.
That reminds you of like if you ever got one of those bag lunches in elementary school where it's like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and like
like a limp carrot or something.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was like, oh.
I guess I won't go hungry.
It's kind of I looked. I was like, oh shit. I was like, well, whatever. And I put both sauces. I do both.
It's funny. I was gonna say that's the move. Would be the spicy and the sweet.
And get back. You know, I'm sitting with my buds, and I take my first bite, and it's just like
it's all bread. Probably,
it didn't even taste like anything.
Yeah. Also, I would imagine it's probably like the meat to bun ratio is probably not great.
Not great at all. And I finished the sandwich, and I had like some of the pulled pork that fell off the sandwich that didn't have sauce. So I'm like, let me try the meat unsauced.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even know if this meat knows what smoke looks like.
Wow. So basically any flavor you got was from the sauce.
It was probably some of the worst pulled pork I've ever had. And talking to dudes I work with, they're like, I don't know what happened, because I've had these guys' food at like a fair or whatever, and their barbecue's great.
Weird.
So I don't know if we just got like if they're like, my work's like bottom tier for these guys, you know?
You're like, they're like pork knuckles.
Like I don't know what happened, but I've never had sadder barbecue.
Yeah. Like how much will it cost to get anus sandwiches for a crew?
Like, oh, is this calamari? Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, it was a letdown, man.
And dang it. I mean, that would have been better to just go with another grilling and chilling.
Yeah, honestly.
That's so sad.
It was. And I was like, well, maybe the chicken was better. And I started asking people, and they're like, yeah, it was all right. I'm like, okay. Like, and I know I've been spoiled by good barbecue.
Yeah.
I understand that. But man.
But still, like you said, when you taste the barbecue by itself, like good barbecue shouldn't need a sauce, right?
Yeah.
Like sauce elevates it, but you shouldn't need a sauce with good barbecue.
Well seasoned and have that smoke flavor. And it just like, it was not. And then like a guy I do work with,
it's like watching bad comedy, right?
Yes.
Like bad barbecue is like bad comedy. It's like it just hurts your soul.
Yes.
You know, you feel bad for the person because you're like, I know this, you got better in
exactly.
you.
Like I've seen it.
Yeah.
It was a bummer, man.
Yeah, that's too bad.
All right, well, that's my sad barbecue story. So I'm good. I'm good now.
So I was at the fruit joint up the road the other day, and I saw, I always I always peruse the different apples looking to see if they have any new ones, because if so, I usually grab a couple.
Yeah, of course.
So they had these ones called smitten apples that are apparently from Yeah, they're from like New Zealand, I guess, or something. They're grown in both hemispheres, it says, but it says their apples are grown in New Zealand and Australia from
Crikey.
April through July.
Sorry.
And the UK and North America from October through December.
Oh, all right.
So I'll have a link in the show notes if anyone wants to get real like nerdy about the flavor profile and everything. But they were good. And the weirdest part about them was, like when you cut into an apple, you got your seeds in the middle.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And there's that core area that you really don't want to eat. And since for multiple reasons, I slice my apples up, the main one being that I remember my dentist telling me that years ago because it's easier on your teeth. You're less likely to like rip a tooth out.
I sliced mine up because my dentist told me you're going to lose that half a tooth if you bite into an apple.
Right.
Noted.
So that's part of why I do it too.
Noted,
right? So,
Doc.
But this one on the inside, they've got seeds, but there's not, the core isn't as like hard as most other apples in the
Really?
center. Like I think you could eat more of the actual apple if you could just. So I just take a melon baller and I just scoop the middle part out of an apple typically, and then I slice it from
Interesting.
there. Yeah, they were good. I was, normally I get my Cosmic Crisps until real quick here, according to my watch, Sweet Tango should be showing back up anytime now.
I'm sorry, what were these apples called again?
Smitten.
Smitten. All right, I'm going to look out for these because...
All right, like if you go up to Chelino's, it's like when you walk past where all the where they have like the tomatoes and all that kind of stuff, it's on like an end cap right there before you cross over into where all the apples are.
Okay, because you know me, I am an apple guy, and I've been craving them.
They were pretty good though. Yeah, and I've noticed that I've been more for the firmer kind of tart apples.
Right.
Like the Honey Crisps and Cosmic Crisp and Sweet Tangos and stuff. So
Sweet Tango.
Yeah. Can't wait. Like I said, I saw somebody the other day that was like, people are all excited about blah blah blah. Meanwhile, this is me, and it was a bag of Sweet Tangos, and I was like, yeah, you're my kind of people.
Like, hell yeah, son.
I get excited when I see them. Although the place up the street doesn't always get them, so a lot of times I have to get them at Kroger, and unfortunately they cost more there, which
is bullshit if you ask me.
Yeah, because like Cosmic Crisps up at Chelino's are like $1 a pound cheaper. They're like $1.49 a pound instead of $2.49 or $2.99 a pound at Kroger. So, and usually the ones up here are massive. I get them at Aldi too. The Cosmic Crisp, they have bags of them down there, but they're
it's like they're like baby ones.
Yeah,
which is kind of weird if you ask me.
The ones I get up the road, like half of one of those is bigger than one of the Aldi ones.
Really?
Yeah, they're fucking massive.
That's so weird.
They're like softball size. They're huge. Yeah.
Huge. Fucking huge, dude.
Yeah. But let's see. I had like one or two things. Oh, dude, did you see that story about the plane that had to get turned around because that dude had diarrhea so bad?
I can't say that I did.
All right. A Delta flight from Atlanta to Barcelona was forced to turn around and make an emergency landing after a passenger had diarrhea all the way through the plane. And they have posted pictures, and literally this dude diarrhea from front to back of this plane. And it was a 2 hour it was 2 hours into a transatlantic flight from Georgia to Spain when the pilot asked to come back because of the fecal fiasco, it says. This is a biohazard. That's a good band name.
Yes, it is.
This is a biohazard issue, the pilot said to air traffic control. We've had a passenger who's had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they want us to come back.
Can you? Oh, my God. The other passengers had to have been so pissed.
Well, what I can't understand is why this dude was running from front to back of this airplane. Like, what's going on?
Like this, oh, God, it won't stop. Ah!
Yeah. Right?
At least that's my assumption.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, there's somebody who shows, like, someone walking from, like, the back to the front of the plane in this other link that I have. And it's not pretty. It's pretty awful.
So
I don't recommend looking at that, but I do have a link for it if anybody's into seeing that.
God, that is so gross.
Can you imagine? That crew had to basically head to toe that plane.
Oh, yeah.
To make sure they got everything.
For sure.
or as much as they could get. Oh God. Plus the smell, I'm sure, was not pleasant.
What do you mean? Diarrhea smells great.
Oh my God. Poor crew. I hope they get like hazard pay or something like that for it. I'm sure they don't.
It's
but
probably they probably sign a
yeah,
contract and in little tiny font somewhere it's like, oh, by the way, you do have to deal with explosive shit occasionally.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yep, and no extra pay.
That
Yeah.
is
A
fucking
mess,
gross.
literally a mess. Yeah. Man. Can you imagine being? I mean, and, all joking aside, can you imagine being that poor dude or woman? I don't know. I think it was a guy. But can you imagine how embarrassed you would be on that? Oh my God. Just especially you're trying to get off that plane and you just can't stop.
Well, then, you got to exit through the main aisles. You're stepping over
Yeah.
streams of shite.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, do you have those little plastic slipper things I can put over my shoes or trash bags or something?
Can we just, like, open up the side doors and put those slides down?
Yeah, that person's not allowed on them, but everybody else.
They're only allowed to use a slide if they're at 30,000 feet.
Right. Or if they're the last person off, because then you just hose the slide or burn it, whichever you
Yeah,
gotta
if Delta
do.
was smart, they would just take that plane up, and then the pilot's going to skydive out, and they just crash into the ocean.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I'd just decommission that plane for sure, right into a
Yeah,
mountain.
this one's done, guys.
Yeah, like there's only one thing that's gonna clean this.
Yeah,
fire.
exactly. The sweet, sweet holy fire.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to fly that plane into Mordor and put it right in a volcano.
Yeah. Oh my God, can you imagine like if you knew the plane number and you saw that?
Oh, I guarantee you can find a plane number.
You met people be like, I'm not going on that plane. I don't want the diarrhea.
Like, wait
plane.
a minute. Yeah. Is this Delta 807? Oh, hell no.
Yeah. Right. Like,
It
nope.
still smells like shit in here.
Yeah. Oh my
it's like
God.
the ghost of a shit.
Yeah. Oh God, it just feels so bad for him.
I can't even, I mean, I know, okay. I understand. As a man who's recently had a colonoscopy, that when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Right.
But I mean, what were they doing? Like ascending, and they're like, "Hey, no one's allowed up," and he was just like, "I guess I'm shitting in my seat." Because I'm gonna be honest, if they're ascending and I'm about ready to crap my pants, I'm gonna stiff arm a stewardess into the dirt to get to that bathroom.
Yeah, right. Like I'll take my chances.
Yeah, call the air marshal, Margaret. Let me empty my bowels.
Yeah. Get something to record with. I'll give a verbal waiver.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's this, or I make a real scene.
Like, listen up, Connie. I'm about ready to throw you over your drink cart.
Yeah.
Because things are getting heated in my pants.
Yeah, this is a bad situation of brewing.
Yeah, I've got an afterburner for you.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, it's like when I first heard this story, I was like, holy shit, they literally had to turn this plane around. Like, it must have been really bad to have to turn the plane around. Either it stunk awful,
I'm sure.
And then when I heard that it was up and down the aisles, and that's when I was like, the only thing I can think of is maybe they were sitting first class or somewhere nearish the front, and they just couldn't hold it.
I mean, there's
So
typically there's shitters in the back too, so maybe they're like, oh God, they went to the back. It's like, oh God, occupied. They run up to the front.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh dude, I think we've all been there, right? Where you got to go like now, and oh shit, occupado.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, this is no good. Kind of like when at that beer fest, I heard one guy make a comment like that. He was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold it. I don't know if he had to onesies or twosies, but it was,
it was
like,
somethingsies.
Like, this is going to be, and and I was joking, and I was just like, like there's a garbage can over there. I mean, just hang over and go.
Thank God for all 5 porta potties.
Yeah, he made it in, so everybody was fine. But oh shit. So the only other thing I had before, I forgot. I was telling you, like, I watched a bunch of shit this week, but so I watched. I've been watching Corner Gas, which I told you about already. I've been watching Letterkenny again finally, and just God, it's so funny. They're both very Canadian
Yeah.
comedy,
Yeah.
but they are pretty different from each other. One's a little more wholesome, the other being Letterkenny, of course, which is not very wholesome. So, dude, oh my God, just the episodes with I can't think of his name now. The guy with the last name of Dick that's on there, that's like the Amish dude.
Oh,
I don't know if you've gotten to this guy or not, but oh my God.
I mean, Amish dude
just
sounds familiar, but I don't remember anybody with the last name of Dick.
every comment he makes has to do with how his name is Dick, basically. And, like he has the guys come over because, and they send Derry to go with his wife to help her with some loads.
Of course.
And, different, like, it is just those kind of things to where, like they find out that her maiden name is Snatch. And, it's like her name's like Anita Snatch or something like, it's so funny because they just keep going with the joke. Like the whole episode is a running dick joke, basically, or a
Salty Language podcast.
And I'm just sitting there listening to it, and it's just, I always think of how it's like I'm finding this hilarious, but I know there's people that'll be like, okay, I get it, enough, But that's what makes it funnier when they go with another one and another one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sometimes you got to pile on.
Yeah.
Like that guy did on that plane carpet.
Oh, Jesus. Pile after pile.
After pile.
Man. Frequent flyer piles.
Exactly.
Yikes. I started watching, they did a spinoff of Adventure Time with Fiona and Cake. I don't know if you're to those characters.
No, actually,
yet.
I asked Leah about it because I can't remember what we were watching on Max, but the trailer or a commercial for it came up, and I'm like, I'm unfamiliar with these characters, and Leah kind of explained it to me, so I'm in the know now, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, Adventure Time's one of those shows that when you're not expecting it, it's gonna punch you in the feels hard.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It seems like just kind of a goofy, fun cartoon, and then there's some of the episodes that they're gonna get you. And then there's some that they did just for Max that are like hour-long episodes. Mm-hmm. Like, and each one focuses, like, one's on BMO, one's on Marceline, one's on oh shoot, what's his name? The Ice King. I can't think of his name. Simon. And then this started, and it's weird because there's actually like some mild cussing in this. Like, I think she says like, I think in the first episode she says shit, and then another one like she, like hell or ass or something. But that's, they're, geez, sorry, I got distracted here.
Dropping piles.
Yeah, but it is very much in the same vein as that. And at first I was like, oh, wow, they're just going to have it in her life. But the first episode kind of shows her. I'm not going to go too far into it because things in this can kind of give away things from Adventure Time. Okay. But it's interesting how they jump kind of each episode so far has been kind of focused on one character again a little bit and telling story. It all intertwines, but it's really good.
Oh, well,
like really,
I mean,
really
it's good that it's good.
Yeah, I was so happy because when I heard they were doing it, I was like, awesome. And then it was like, oh, and it comes out in September. And I'm like, oh, like I didn't hear about it till like last month, basically. And then I was like, excellent, like
weird the way that works, huh?
Yeah, and then I caught up on Harley Quinn, which I think is almost done with this season. I think there's one more episode in that. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of teens this week.
I mean, we finished What We Do in the Shadows.
Nice.
We're caught up on Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, I'm one behind on that. I need to watch the newest episode.
I started watching Cowboy Bebop because I've never actually watched it.
Great. I need to go back and watch it because I don't think I've watched all of it.
I've heard.
I know I watched it years ago.
I've never watched the anime, but I've heard the One Piece show on Netflix is really good.
I've heard that too from some people that are like big One Piece geeks, which makes me happy because of how Cowboy Bebop was received by most people not caring for it. So, and given that there's like 1,000 episodes of One Piece, so it's like I want to watch it because I've heard it's great, but it's like, dude, there's 1,000 episodes.
So much backlog.
I'll never catch up. So I don't know about it, but I'll definitely check this out because I assume you won't have to necessarily know anything to watch this because it's
I would assume they're going to be like, here you go, boys, nice and fresh.
Yeah. Right. So fresh and so clean.
So fresh and so clean.
Yeah. But yeah, I've definitely been watching a bunch of stuff because usually at night I would watch like Futurama, which is on for an hour, and then Bob's Burgers. But they've been showing other stuff, and then I've seen all the Bob's Burgers so many times because they don't seem to show newer seasons. They seem to show like the first 5 or 6 seasons. So that must be all they have the rights to, I guess. I don't know. So it's like I've seen these episodes to death.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I'm like, I'd be like, well, I'm gonna just go watch whatever. Like Corner Gas, I'm done with the regular show. I'm into the animated show. I think I have like 1 season of that left, and then there's a movie, and then I'll be done with Corner Gas. Letterkenny, I'm in season 8, and there's 11 seasons so far, I think. So I'm a little ways behind on that.
You're so much further on than I am.
Yeah. But yeah. And then I need to watch. Well, there's a new episode of Ahsoka that'll be up tonight. So
I've only watched the first episode of that still.
Yeah.
I'm so far behind
so
in everything, Brian.
I'll probably watch that and Only Murders in the Building and NXT tonight. Oh, I got to watch the rest of Raw. I forgot. I started watching it last night, and then I was starting to get tired, so I just went sleepies.
Good old sleepies. I love sleepies, actually.
Also, Raw's 3 hours. That's so it's cool watching it on Hulu, though, because I can fast forward through it. Yeah, but anyway. Did you see that PlayStation has a thing that's a Portal remote player that looks like that Backbone thing that came out for like the iPhone?
No.
Basically. But I think it's like I don't know if it's not available. Oh wait, actually it's coming out. I don't remember where it's coming out, but it doesn't work with the PS5, which doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I see. PlayStation Portal.
Yeah, it's where it's similar, like what I'm talking about with that Backbone. It's like a thing that snaps on your phone to make your phone into basically like a Switch.
Yeah.
Right. So, but this thing's like $200, and it's like it won't work with a PS5. Which again, I don't have a PS5, but still,
seems kind of lame.
Or work without a PS5. I'm sorry. So it won't work for like us. But it works from the PS5 essentially. It streams it to the device. You remember how Sony had that app that you could play on your phone?
Yeah, for sure.
PS4 on. It's basically like that, except that it's actually got, it looks like if you take the new DualSense and split it in half essentially on either side of a screen.
It's like a PlayStation 5 and a Switch made sweet love.
Yeah, I mean it's still inferior in that you can't, connect it and like you can't.
I don't want to play stuff
go...
like this, like with my hands a foot apart or whatever.
Right.
That's
one of my things with the Switch, playing it as the portable thing. I don't like how far apart my hands are. The balance of it, I don't care for. I don't know why, but it's just I don't. I'd rather play it on the screen than play it that way.
You know what I've actually done before when I'm holding the Switch is I've actually taken the controllers off and put the kickstand up and just hold the controllers. Just because it feels better to me than holding the whole thing.
Yeah. So this thing launches on November 15th, but it was just when I saw it, I was kind of like, well, this is interesting, but it's like Sony had a really good, like the PlayStation
PSP.
PSP, and the Vita. I never had a Vita, but I had 2 PSPs, and that system was awesome. I really liked that system. It's like I kind of wish they would just go back to that. I know they won't because you can just do mobile stuff like this or whatever easier. But still, it's like, dude, this thing's $200.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm looking at it.
I mean,
They're like, son, $200.
and it's not a system. It's a way of playing, but it's not. It contains and holds 0
Right.
games. You have to stream everything from your own
Yes.
system. So I don't know, man. I was like, I get it, but I think it's like I think people would be much happier if they could go with some version of a portable system. You know, especially if the portable system would allow you to go between the two. But I guess with the way Microsoft is doing stuff, you know, where you can just play it on your phone via cloud-based stuff. You know, I guess that's where they're going with it. But I was still just like, I don't know.
I think
man.
it's kind of lame.
Like, I don't think
if you're asking me.
Yeah, it's like I don't think I'd lay out $200 for it. I've seen a lot of people excited about it, but I don't think I'd be one of them.
I think here's my thing, Brian. Like, and I do consider myself a gamer, but not to the point where I'm like, man, I gotta play PlayStation like in a cab or like, you know, I can wait till I get home to play my PlayStation.
Well, I don't know if you remember or not. Like on the PSP, there were games. It sucked. You had to own the game on both. You couldn't just own the game on one and play. Well, no, I think there were some games you could play that way, but I don't remember. But it was, there were games you could pick up and play on the PSP, and then get home and basically pick up your save point and play it on your PS4. Right. Or PS3. I don't think it was PS. It might have been PS4. I don't know, but I know PS3. But that was really cool because I had a baseball game that I used to do that with, and I had Madden that I would do that with. I'd take it with me and sit in the doctor's office, fucking playing it and whatever. And then I'd get home and pick up my game right where I left off, cool. Basically.
Yeah,
that was kind of cool. But
what's the specs on this thing? Like,
I don't know that it really has much, right? Because it's not your phone. It's its own screen, right? It doesn't look like a.
Like, I just wonder how big it's gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah. There were quite a few people in the comments that are basically like, "What is the point of this when you could just buy a Switch?"
I mean, that's true too. Oops, shit.
For like $100 more or whatever, and I was like, "Yeah, that's." Oh, here we go. 8-inch LCD screen with up to 1080p resolution at 60 frames per second.
So the screen's 8 inches. That's diagonal, so it's not quite 8 inches across. But right. I mean, that's still pretty wide. It's not really super portable. It's not like you can throw it in your pocket.
Not unless you're wearing cargo
pants. Jankos.
Yeah. Jankos, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah. I think this is. I mean, I don't have money to throw at this anyway. But even if I did, like even back when I was buying like every freaking thing that came out years ago, I feel like this would have probably missed me.
I kind of feel like this is a fail. I'm not gonna lie. You know?
Unlike a Game Boy or a PSP or something, where I'd be like, well, I can actually like put games on this thing and carry it around, and it's like because if I'm somewhere where I can't get an internet connection, I can't use
that's what I was already say too. It's like, okay, so you got to be on Wi-Fi. Public Wi-Fi, I don't know if anyone's aware of this, generally sucks ass.
Right.
So you're not.
Well, also, if I have any sort of like financial info saved on my PlayStation, I don't so much want to be on public Wi-Fi anyway.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like really. So I don't. Yeah. But. Yeah, I know. Like now, they do have those backbone things, and I think you can still use that. I don't know if it'll work with the PS5, but I think you can still use that PlayStation app to use your phone. This would give you a little bigger screen, though, than your phone screen. But
yeah, I think I'm good. I mean, the dopey games I play on my phone, it's exactly what they are. They're dopey games. If I want a game for real, I come home, I sit on my couch, probably take my pants off, and have a good time.
Yeah. Right. It is weird when I'm over and you do that.
That's what happens on a game, Brian. I gotta get comfortable.
It's true. It's true. Oh, excuse me. Jeez. Dying over here.
Dynamite?
Oh. No, just dying. All right. Well, I think, pretty sure that's all I got for the week.
So I guess we should move into the old queues, huh?
Yep.
Last week, or I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago.
I was like, this is a little longer
than that. We asked y'all, what's a food you hated but learned to love after having it prepared right? A rarity, Brian. Instagram answer. And it's a good thing we recorded so late because it came in 3 hours ago. From our
Oh,
man,
all right.
Short Side, across the pond. He says, blue steak. Oh, no. Says, as soon as I found out I could eat it still twitching, it was a game changer. The many
Oh,
looks
God.
of horror from coworkers on nights out when my gravy is basically blood makes me happy.
Oh, my. Wow.
I'm gonna have to disagree here on this one. We're gonna have to agree to disagree on blue steaks.
Yeah, I can't. I can't go that far.
You know me.
I don't even like rare. I can't do rare.
Depending on
So
the cut, I can do rare, but I'm more of a medium rare.
yeah, I'm a medium rare at yeah, for sure. I can't go that far back. Yeah.
And then wow, we actually it's kind of light on the Facebook. It comes and goes, much like a karma chameleon.
Yeah.
Our friend Monica, nice. She says Brussels sprouts.
So something interesting about Brussels
Yeah.
sprouts that I found out the other day. I can't remember what I was listening to. It was the Jim Jeffries podcast. I don't know about that. He was talking with a woman, and Forrest, one of his co-hosts on there, he asked the woman why. He's like, is it just me or do Brussels sprouts taste better now than they used to? And she said there actually is a reason for that. I didn't know this, which was apparently at some point Brussels sprouts were kind of genetically altered so that they wouldn't basically rot as quick, like a lot of vegetables have been over time. That also there was something about the bitterness of this, and I can't remember the whole story, but basically they've mixed two types of Brussels sprouts to make it to where the newer ones don't have as much bitterness as they used to.
Interesting.
So they should taste better to most palates. They still taste like hot shit to me.
That's because as a kid I hated them.
Right, and I think because I feel like because I know there's at least one more person who said Brussels sprouts, and I have one that said Brussels sprouts. So it's interesting that that's the word. But also, in fairness, the way most people had them growing up was maybe with some butter.
Let's boil the shit out of these.
Yeah, that's probably it was just like little cabbages and that's it. There was no flavor, like the balsamics and bacon and butter.
A little fucking crazy action in there.
Right.
Diamond Top fan Kiki, she says broccoli.
Okay.
Broccoli.
That's fair too, because a lot of people just don't know how to cook broccoli. And like me as an adult, just give me it steamed, man. Steamed, a little, maybe a fuzz of butter and, a little salt and pepper.
I like a roast broccoli or a grilled broccoli myself.
Also good. Yep. Little red pepper flakes, delicious on it, Yeah. I don't need much, it's just, if it's just cooked well, I just don't want it to where it's just mush. Honestly, my favorite way to eat broccoli is stir fry.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's firm. It's still got a ton of flavor to it.
Yeah. I'm a big broccoli fan, Brian.
Yeah, me too.
Sometimes I want to mush the broccoli together and just make sweet love to it.
That's also fair. But I couldn't answer broccoli on this one because even as a kid, I loved broccoli. So we ate broccoli a lot when I was a little kid, and it's just never stopped. It's probably my most eaten side.
Broccoli.
Broccoli.
Diamond Top fan Big Dev, he also says Brussels sprouts.
Yep. Ooh.
Brussels. And then Christine, she says mushrooms. Little mushy boys.
I can see that too, because a lot of people overcook them or don't put any flavor in them. A lot of people,
it's a texture too.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Also, there's different types of mushrooms.
Truth.
Most people end up with like a button mushroom, and then once you start getting into other types of mushrooms, you're like, oh, hey, there's all these other flavors and deliciousness, and
it's like, holy shit, these are amazing.
Like if you have, like, I'm not real big on getting mushrooms on pizza most of the time, unless I know it's like fresh mushroom.
Right.
Because I hate like the places that use what seems to be like canned mushrooms because they get so mushy and they're gross.
Hence the name, mushrooms.
Yeah. But if they're still a little bit firm and everything, then okay. But I hate them when they're overcooked or waterlogged or whatever.
Canned mushrooms are pretty gross.
They're pretty gross. Yeah. Fresh all the way, baby.
Exactly. But that's all I got, man. Y'all had 2 weeks. Come on now. Oh shit! Brian locked up, son. What's going on here? Brian, are you with me? Guess I'll have to do a speed test. Stuart, hello? Oh, something happened. I heard it. I hear beeping. God damn it. I think we... Hello?
Oh, there we go.
He's
Finally.
back, baby.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah. I don't know what we're saying. Something about mushy boys. I can't hear you, Brian.
All right. Ready to pick it
Oh,
back
yeah.
up?
Let's do this.
All right. All right. So you have any other?
No, that's the end of the run. I was saying y'all had 2 weeks and we're very disappointed. And then all hell broke loose.
I thought about it and I was like, I should have posted it again and I forgot to. So,
Whatever.
Yeah. Cheetos says Brussels sprouts says he hated them because they're always steamed or boiled or something nasty. He's like, now then I roasted them in the oven. Then I learned that rendering down some bacon and roasting them with some bacon grease and adding the bacon and dates is absolutely incredible. So yeah, I like the sprouts now.
Oh hell yeah. Dates. I've never thought about dates.
Yeah.
In a Brussels sprout.
Yeah.
But that sounds fucking amazing, actually.
I guess. I don't know. It still sounds like hot garbage to me.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's so sad too, because it's like, it's one of the few foods that I don't like. Bacon doesn't even fix for me.
Yeah, that's weird because bacon typically fixes everything.
Yep. Yep. Can't do it though.
Sad.
It's all right. I mean, listen, I'm glad a lot of people have been able to enjoy them though, because so many people hated them when they were kids.
That's true.
That a lot of people I know won't eat them as adults because they were garbage when they were kids. And, after hearing that the other day on that podcast, that there's a change to the flavor profile of them. It's like, well, if a person's sitting out there now who hasn't tried Brussels in years, maybe it's time to give him another go.
I'm a firm believer of stuff you didn't like as a kid, you got to try as an adult. Because the fuck was that? Oh, my mouse just fell. God damn it. Because things change.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
God.
But I'm not, it hasn't been that long ago.
Well, I know. There we go. Sorry, I had to disappear. My mouse fell. Well, I know with you too. It's like the smell.
That's a big part
I know
of it
that
for
doesn't
me.
help.
Now, I'll say this. Like, if you gave me, like, a stir fry and you chopped them up real fine in there, I probably could eat them. Because I can eat cabbage in a stir fry, right? Because because also in a stir fry, you don't use mountains of cabbage. You just use a little bit.
What if I took a bunch of Brussels sprouts and chopped them real fine and cooked them with bacon and dates?
Unfortunately, I can still taste them because that's all there is. I would need them buried in something, basically. But, like I said, if I was at your house and you made them like that, I'd probably give it a try. I'd put one on my plate.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's what I appreciate about you, Brian.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, is that what you appreciate? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it had, it's also you never know as your palate changes too.
Yeah.
I remember hearing years ago that, like when we're kids, your palate tends to lean heavily sweet, which makes sense because as children, it's like candy, and then as you get older, you start leaning more towards savory and bitter, which makes sense why IPAs taste better as we're getting older and such, So yeah, I found an article from IFL Science about why they taste.
Oh no, here we go again. God damn it. Oh, I lost you for a second there again. The internet's getting wonky, man.
Good, we gotta hurry. All right, let's push through.
Let's wrap this shit up, boys.
All right, one through 6.
3.
3. All right. For customer service workers, what's something minor that customers do that irritates you to no end?
Oh. All right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna
Going back to
flash back to when I was, because I was basically customer service, but I was a delivery guy delivering directly to customers.
right.
And it was always when they got a fucking flip their flapper about the weather outside. Ah, hot enough for you? Ah, stay warm, stay dry. Fuck you.
Yeah, yeah.
That was always that got me.
Yeah, it's like, my brother as a letter carrier had similar feelings. Now, what he appreciated is when it was hot, instead of saying hot enough for you, instead the phrase, do you need a water
Yeah,
or
that's
a cool
helpful.
rag? Way more helpful.
Yeah, like you got a beer?
Yeah. you know, much more helpful. It's funny, like thinking back, I was trying to think of, other than like the real obvious stuff, but the one thing that I hate, I think the most, and I try not to do this, is when you essentially are asking them to give you a service that really isn't part of their, not part of their job, but it's like, like if you're in a store, right, and you see what's on the floor, I generally don't ask them, hey, is there more in the back?
Yes.
Right? Because first of all, listen, how many times did we get the phone call at the video store? Hey, do you have Armageddon in? And you just, put them on hold for a second, count to 5, and they go, oh man, we're all out. You don't even look. You
Yeah.
just, no, we're all out. Or you just say, no, we're all out because you haven't checked the Dropbox because you're just too busy.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a lot of these employees have got other shit to do. And, don't get me wrong. Sometimes there's no, it's not a big deal. At grocery stores, I ask. At Target, I don't usually ask.
I think the only
You
time
know?
I've ever asked that is like shoe store.
Yeah, well, that's a good
Yeah,
reason.
like,
'Cause
hey
they
man, you
do
got this in
sometimes.
a 10.5 or whatever.
Sure. Especially if they're not a place where they have a bunch on the floor. Usually, if it's a place that has a bunch of them on the floor, like Meijer or Target or something, usually what they have is on the floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when you go into like Foot Locker or something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
they don't keep all the shoes on the floor. So yeah, that I get. But I think that's the kind of stuff that always used to kind of get me a little bit. Is like when people would call over and over and over again. Do you have this video? Do you have this? It's the same, calling you like every 15 minutes for like, do you have Armageddon? Do you have Armageddon? Do you have? And it's like, no, it's like, and I'm gonna keep telling you no. Like if you
Yeah.
want to find it, come in.
Cause fuck you.
I'm not gonna stop every 5 minutes and check the damn Dropbox. We have other customers here. Like I've got other shit to do. So that, and it's like I get why people do it. They don't want to drive up to the store and not have, whatever. But it's also like, come on, maybe just show up. Maybe there's one sitting out on the shelf. Now, if I tell you yes, now your next thing is you want me to go get the damn thing,
Yeah, exactly.
hold it for you while I have 20 other people in my face asking me for the same thing. It's like, no. Like I hate how people on the phone assume that they should be treated the same as people in the store.
Oh yeah.
I think that's more of what my real peeve is with it. Is it's like if you want to bug the hell out of me, come into the store and do it. I have more
More tolerance when you're
tolerance for
here.
that. Yeah, because at least you're here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
You're putting your time into it here as well, waiting around for it. Fine.
That's fair.
But on the phone, it's like you're trying to skip the line.
Yeah.
It's like no.
This isn't a cheat code, bud.
Yeah. But like I said, I it's very rare that like if I'm in Target that I'll be like, hey, do you have any of this in the back? Like I will with food sometimes. Like I've been at Kroger and I need a certain cheese for a recipe or I need something specific. Do you guys have any more in this? Because I know they stock constantly.
Right.
So there's a chance they may have not, and they're usually great about it. Like, oh yeah, or no, sorry, we got, okay, fine. If they tell me no, I'm just like, whatever. I don't get bent out of shape about it. I just okay, but I try really hard not to. So, but again, I'll be in the store. I won't call and do it.
Right.
Hey, do you guys have this cheese in?
Hey, you guys got Havarti?
Yeah, can you hold some for me? I want to make sure you have it. Go fuck yourself. So, yeah. So that's going to be my long-winded answer.
Fair enough.
All right. So once again, is if you've worked customer service, what's something minor that customers do that irritates you to no end?
Show us what you got.
Or don't, whatever.
Or not.
Oh yeah, speaking of, that's the new season of that's coming up pretty quick too. And Loki.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's funny for Rick and Morty, the promos for this season, they've only had Summer and Beth doing the commercials.
yeah,
They haven't put Rick or Morty because they're replacing Justin Roiland. So I'm very curious to see what they end up doing for this.
Be funny if all season they just didn't have voices.
Yeah. They were just silent the whole season. That would be really funny. Just do silent episodes
just
with
like
those
doing ASL and shit.
Yeah. Well, they just do them all like they're like a kung fu movie or something like that.
I mean, that would be amazing, actually.
Or it's just all silent and emotion. That'd be great. Anyway, yeah. So, all right. So, yeah, head on over to saltylanguage.com to find all the links to things we've talked about in the episode. You can find the link to our network, or the network we're part of, which is Tangent Bound Network. Which, if you're looking for a network for your show, go head over there and talk to them about that. If you talk to Mark, I mean, we still want to know why the heck, what's going on with the Salty Language Studios. Like, why is this not happening?
I would have thought by now we would have met with contractors, electricians.
I would think so. I mean, I'd hate to have us have to go on strike.
It's true.
I mean, that's the thing now.
It's true.
I mean, I'd hate to have to pull that power.
Yeah, he'd just show up and union bust us.
Yeah, you're right. He probably would. We'd give in easy. Just show up with like a bottle of liquor and a couple cigars, and we'd be like, all right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. All right, fine. So, yeah. Yeah. If you want to reach out to us on social media, you can find us on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me on most socials. Well, the socials that I'm on, you can find me at Stunami. How about that?
Fair enough. You can find me on Instagram at The Monotony. You can also, if you want to chat with me on TikTok, I control the Salty Language TikTok at Salty Language. Patreon.com/saltylanguage if you want to help your boys out. We promise we do have stuff coming. It's been a weird month. You and I were talking earlier about how we can record stuff, and suddenly I'm working Fridays again. So
yeah,
so that kind of derailed that.
Yeah.
Salty Language Pod, if you want to check out the YouTubes. If you don't, that's fine too. But if you do, subscribe, like, leave some comments. Help your boys out. It's the algorithm. I have a little side thing, all the beers. It's a little dusty, but it's still there. Brian, you have a side gig as well.
I do. It's called The Crazy Life, and it's a podcast with me and our friends Jen and Henno, and we talk about mental health, mental illness, and the journeys to, just trying to be better folks and whatnot. And our last episode was the first episode in a decent amount of time where Henno was back with us, so we got to catch up with him and talk about a whole bunch of stuff. And yeah, I think pretty sure this is a week we're supposed to record, so hopefully we'll get another one another one of them out there for everybody.
Another one in the chamber.
Yeah, I guess. We'll see. Life shit,
Yep. As we've discovered the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
Life, yeah.
Yep. So all right. So the insult for the week. This is one that everybody's gonna have already heard, and I think everyone knows what it is, obviously, and it's snaggletooth.
Oh. Yeah, it's actually how I'm saved in my in Leah's phone, with a picture of my half a tooth face still.
Wow. Love it.
My kids love me, Brian.
That's great. That's pretty good.
I mean, Leah's a riot.
Right. And the definition, according to this, it's a low-class woman with broken teeth. But I would say that, maybe that's what it was back then, but it's like, it's easily become just anyone with broken teeth.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Or like Snaggletooth, the cartoon character's got that like one tooth that sticks out, weird from the rest. So, that's kind of what it's become. And it's one that you still hear. Like if somebody's got some, messed up teeth, you'll still hear Snaggletooth occasionally.
Oh, yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's one that I don't know if it ever went away.
It's still in rotation.
Well, I think the cartoon probably helped keep it in rotation too.
Fair enough.
The character.
Brian, we're also old. Millennials are like, what? That was a cartoon?
Yeah, probably.
Snaggle what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Be like naming like Huckleberry Hound. Be like, what is that, a cereal?
It could be.
Could be.
Speaking of, what the hell's wrong with me, man? I haven't gotten any of the Monster cereals
Bro,
yet.
real quick, they have Monster Mash this year with all of them combined.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I to to get a box. I'm going to the store tomorrow. So
they also have
see it,
Crocs that are themed. If you want to get some Count Chocula
they're
Crocs,
scented too.
they're
Yeah, I saw
scented.
they're scented
No,
too.
no,
Yeah.
we don't want that.
You don't want chocolate Crocs?
Also, it should be called Count Crocula. I'm just saying.
Oh man, that is pretty good actually.
Yeah. And the rest of none of the other ones make sense, but Count Crocula makes sense.
True. Yeah, Frankenberry doesn't
Franken
really.
Crockenberry doesn't work.
No,
Croc,
no, yummy.
Boo Croc, yeah. Croc in it.
Boo Crocky? What?
Boo Croc.
I don't think I want that one either.
Oh my god. I don't ever want to Google that, but there better be about like 6 guys jacking off on a croc online somewhere and just called Boo Crocky.
God, you're probably right. All right, so according to Famous Footwear here, it looks like they run about $60.
Are you kidding me? Man,
No,
fuck the croc industry.
Their Blueberry ones are, I'll have a link to this in the show notes too, are berry blue and white, Count Chocula is mocha, and then Frankenberry taffy pink. But yeah, they glow in the dark.
Okay,
they're
that's
scented.
cool.
Yep, yeah, they're definitely. I was wanting to make sure that they were scented. I thought I had read that they were, and they are for sure scented. So I'm actually oh, it's not sold in stores. You have to order them online. It looks like, but yeah. So there you go. Oh, and you can't use any coupons, I think, on these, maybe, but yeah, whatever. I'm not buying these anyway. But
oh my god, I'm still thinking about fucking Boo Crocky. All right. On that note, Brian.
Yeah. So there you go. Until next week, have a beer. You'll be fine.
Oh. Watch your feet in the spa if you're wearing Crocs.
Oh God! And on the plane too.
God damn, yeah, you're right.
Oh, maybe you don't want to wear Crocs on a plane anymore.
That's called a Poo Crocky.
Yeah. Oh God, just seeping in your feet.
Those little croc holes that you're supposed to put like little fun things in, just full of poo and corn.
And listen, as a man who's walked through shit water before, it's not something you ever want to do.
Moses of shit water.
Yeah. R.I.P. Really good pair of Nikes that ruined in that shit water.
Well, you can resell them now as weathered or something.
Oh no, they're gone now. Those things are in some trash heap somewhere.